Hello everyone, it's great to be here, and the series you're watching is the Impact series on the Expose TV network. It's just a great time to be here because we can come and talk about the patterns and the things that we really want to improve in our society and wherever it is you're watching from. You're welcome to the program. Today we're going to be taking a very, very important topic, and the topic we're going to be taking today is 5 ways to deal with toxic family relationship. You heard it from me, 5 ways to deal with family toxic relationship. If by any chance you are in a toxic relationship with your family, you want to gather around, get a drink, sit down, get a notepad, because believe me, wherever you are watching all over the world, you want to share right now to your loved ones, to someone who's dealing with something in the family and they really do not know how to overcome it. And if you're a parent and you see yourself giving out toxic relationship, of course, to your children, and you know, when you discipline your children and you go back to think to yourself, was I too hard? That's when you know that there is a toxic pattern going on in the family. So if you're that person, what you want to do right now is to begin to share to someone you know may be going through it. We're talking about, of course, on Facebook, Expose TV, on TikTok, this is Expose TV, on Instagram, Expose_TV. Of course, now what you want to do right now is begin to share, because today we're going to be learning 5 ways to deal with toxic family relationships on Impact TV. My name is Lola Oduba. When we come back, we'll go into the program proper. Stay tuned. Welcome back. And again, if you remember, at the start of the show, we said that we're going to be dealing today with the topic 5 ways to deal with toxic family relationships. Of course, as parents, sometimes we tend to go overboard in wanting to show love, wanting to show care to our children. We find ourselves just going gaga and trying to, instill discipline. We tend to go overboard in trying to make sure that our children turn out right, or the words under us turn out right. Well, today, as I said at the start of the show, we're going to be learning how to put a borderline to when it becomes discipline and when it becomes abuse. Because if you remember, in the course of our of social media last week, we had a situation where there was a Big Brother Nigeria winner who, unfortunately, her father, from what I heard, wanted to discipline her from, of course, all the excesses that they said she had been involved in. They said she had been involved in drugs, not communicating with the family enough. Of course, these are all allegedly, but this is what came out on social media, and that, of course, she had a wayward way of living, and because of that, the father now beat her. Now, for a lot of us who saw that on social media, we felt that beating was that beating was excessive. So where do you really draw the line between having someone who loses control and someone who uses control in disciplining, their words? Because the truth about it is that we saw the BBL winner on social media crying out for help. We saw her crying in tears, saying people should come and help her, people should come and take her away from this situation. All her face was swollen, all her eyes were swollen, the face was battered, as a matter of fact, and she was crying on social media. I want to assume that was happening live, and she found a way to record it, and then she was calling out to Nigerians. But what we don't know is that Ilebaye, that's the Big Brother Nigeria winner, was able to do that because she had some name to her. But a lot of that is happening behind closed doors, with parents losing it over, sometimes it's excessive love, and sometimes it's no love at all. Because sometimes the excessive love comes when you just want this child to turn out right, and you just want to put that child into action and make sure the child is corrected, and everything you want for the child is just perfect in your mind. But the truth about it is that is not the reality that we live in today, because children are exposed to different things. They're exposed to different situations. They are around different people and they pick up different habits. So in as much as you want to guide your children, I keep telling parents, the first thing to do is to make sure that all the discipline, when I talk of discipline, I'm not talking of beating children. I'm talking of instilling values into children. Is done before the age of 6. How you want your child to turn out is done really before the age of 6. That way they're able to assimilate everything that you want to instill in them, whether values, whether training, whether ways of doing things, whether ways in which you want them to, become. Do it before the age of 6, and thereby, you guide them on the right path. Now, the next thing I want to tell you is that another way as a parent you can control yourself is give yourself a timeline. I'm not encouraging anybody to even lay hands on the children. You can even tell yourself, no, I don't even want to touch them at all. I want to talk to these children. I want to talk to them. I want to have such a relationship with my children where they can open up to me. I can reach out to them emotionally. Because when children know that you are there for them emotionally, it's easy for them to approach you. It's easy for them to talk to you about the challenges that they may be facing, about the temptations that they are going through outside. So you want to make sure that you have such a relationship with your children and your words, those who stay around you, that they have enough confidence in you. They build confidence with the people around you to be able to approach you. Not that when they come to approach you, you always shut them down. That is a toxic relationship. When your children cannot approach you, when your family members, that's of course your wife or even your husband, cannot approach you because they know that, you are going to shout on them or you are going to talk to them anyhow, and then they then assume, even if I go and meet this man or if I go and meet this woman, she won't answer me. She doesn't have time for me. She's too busy. She's too distracted. She's busy with her own work. Your children or your words must know that no matter what daddy and mommy are going through, they have time for me. Then it won't get to the a stage where parents now have to discipline children in ways and manner that is deplorable. It won't get to the stage where you have to humanly and physically attack your child and almost kill that, because these things it's not going to help. Because any child that is beaten to that stage, any child that is beaten anyhow, never, even to me, you don't shape them that way. You make them strong. You make them defiant that way. You make them want to rebel. So the first thing you want to do is to actually develop a relationship with your word. And of course, the next thing you want to do is understand that respect should not excuse abuse. There's a borderline. Everyone deserves respect. Everyone, even the little child. When the child is wrong, you want to correct the child. Yes, you can correct the child. But everyone, you look at it, animals, trees, we have been told now, do not cut trees anyhow. When you cut a tree, you plant a tree. That's respect. Do not kill animals anyhow. That is respect. So how then are you telling me that someone who is someone who has us, we as a human being, should not be respected? You should respect even a day-old child. Now, when the child now does something that needs correction, does not mean that you look at that child and say, don't correct. You must correct the child. You must put the child on the right track. Whether it's a staff, whether it's his child, whether it's your word, as long as they are under you, you put them on track. It is your right to put them on track. But there is a borderline to which you don't cross. And that's what we're saying here. So you understand that respect should not excuse abuse. The next thing I want to do and encourage you to do is learn to set boundaries. There is a borderline to which you do not cross. You do not cross touching the child. You do not cross abusing the worker. You do not cross abusing your wife. You do not cross inflicting injuries just because you can. You must learn to set boundaries. You must learn to control yourself in a way where it does not become a toxic relationship, either in the home. Today we're talking about family relationships. But family relationships also become work relationships. Everyone deserves to be respected. Everyone deserves a right to some level of dignity, except when they now go wrong. You put them on the right track. The right track should not involve physical touch. The next thing I want you to do is to avoid responding in anger. A lot of us lose control because we respond in anger. What you want to do is, yes, this person has upset me. Put my point across. Move on from it. Do not bottle the anger in a way whereby you keep on holding on to the anger and say, oh yes, this person has annoyed me, and every time I see the person, I'm going to take it out on the person. Some parents would actually bottle that anger, and for the rest of the day they keep talking about it. For the rest, or is a boss at the office, for this staff has annoyed you, and then you keep on referring to what the staff did. You make yourself angry, and then you continue to put the staff on edge. If you have made your point, yes, the staff has done what you don't like, you correct that staff or move on from it. Thereby your mind is even lighter. As a parent, your mind is lighter. I have corrected this child in love. Let me move on from it. Thereby, you even decrease the chances of high blood pressure. You find a lot of parents, especially African parents, we have high blood pressure. Everybody here and there, high BP. It's because of you shout and you don't leave it. You shout, you correct, you do this, you do that, and you don't leave it. There is a time to drop it. You've made your point, drop it. If the person does that thing again, you remind the person. If the person does not do it again, leave it. Are we making sense? The network you're watching is the Expose TV network. When we come back, if you've not shared, begin to share. When we come back, we'll conclude, of course, on this. Stay tuned. Welcome back, and if you're just joining us, you're watching, of course, Impact series on the Expose TV network, and today we're dealing with 5 ways to deal with toxic family relationships. The next thing we're going to be talking about today is to seek help from trusted family members. Seek help from people, even if you are not your family. Seek help from people who are going through that challenges that you may be going through in the home. Maybe it's to reach your children. Unfortunately, your children have passed the age of 6 and you cannot reach them again. There are people who have gone through this. There are people who have gone through relationships that are difficult in, of course, talking to their children, maybe because they lost it when the children were growing up, and you've lost that that bond with them, and the children are all on their own, and you see them doing the wrong things. You can't seek help. There are people that those children look up to. There are people that they talk to. There are people that they listen to. Look at those people that they listen to. Look at the relationships that they have developed along the line. If they are negative, try and steer your children away from those negative relationships. If the children are being difficult, expose them to more positive things. Don't always castigate them. Sit down with them. Talk to them. Let them know that, okay, yes, I've made these mistakes in the past, but give me another chance. Let me bond with you again. Let's rekindle the relationship that we had when you were much younger. If there was never any relationship that you had, maybe from the onset, from when they were born, you were always harsh, tell them. You can call these children and tell them, call this relationship to order. If it's your wife, call the relationship to order. There is a point that you can actually say enough is enough. I don't want this kind of relationship with my words again. I don't want it with my wife. I don't want it with my children. I want to be friends with them. You can't change. If you determine to change, you can change. Of course, you can also seek support from the net. Internet has a lot of family relationships that you can read up on, and it helps you on how to reconnect with your loved ones. You can also seek professional helps of people who are mental health experts who can come into the family. That's, of course, if you have that kind of resource, and they can help reconnect you and your loved ones together. You can seek professional help. Of course, you can also determine to break the circle. Break the circle of frustration. Break the circle of what could be causing the anger. Break the circle of what could be causing the ability to want to lash out at people. There's an emotional hurt somewhere that needs to be broken. You need to find out what that hurt, where it came from in your own private moment. Find out where all of that trauma is coming from and deal with it. Of course, that has been our show for today. You know what to do if the program has helped you, and if you also have some tips on how you can help people who are dealing with family toxic relationships, you know what to do. Get in touch with us. We are Expose TV on YouTube, Expose TV on Facebook. This is Expose TV on TikTok, and expose_TV on Instagram. Until next week, let's develop better family relationships. See you again next time, and let's avoid toxic family relationships. My name is Lola Oduba. Be good.